Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land, hosted by me, Rolene Marks. And we take a look at your top stories making headlines every Monday to Thursday. So before we head off for a well-deserved rest, let's take a look at those top stories making headlines. And we begin with news that an Israeli drone killed 3 Palestinian terrorists in a car in the early hours of this morning. The 3 had reportedly opened fire at a checkpoint. Now, this was confirmed by the IDF and the Shin Bet, and this is the first time since 2006 that Israel is using targeted assassinations or carrying out targeted assassinations in the West Bank. Now, this follows a week of escalations of violence in the West Bank, starting with clashes during a counter-terror operation earlier this week in Jenin. 7 IDF soldiers were lightly to moderately injured and 1 brave doggy. And the horrific terror attack which happened on Tuesday, which saw 4 Israeli civilians murdered. Now, there has been violence breaking out on the Golan Heights, as well as members of the Druze community are objecting to the construction of a wind farm because it is now Eid al-Adha. It was believed that a negotiation was reached for the construction of the wind turbines to be stopped until after Eid al-Adha. However, the National Security Minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, has given his go-ahead that it must continue. He has been warned by other security officials that this could result in bloodshed. Excuse me. In other news, Ukrainian First Lady Olena Zelenska has been visiting Israel this week. She met with her counterpart, Mikhail Herzog, and President Herzog. While the First Lady is here, she has been visiting Ukrainian soldiers being treated in Israeli hospitals and also learning from Israeli humanitarian and trauma care organizations how to best cope with this. But the First Lady sat down for an exclusive interview with Jerusalem Post journalist Lahav Harkov, and she addressed the very offensive comments made about her husband, President Zelensky, by Russia's Vladimir Putin, who called him not Jewish and said that his Jewish friends say that he is a disgrace to Jews. First Lady Zelenska said that Putin's comments were absolutely disgraceful and somebody's ethnicity has no bearing on their politics. The First Lady also visited Yad Vashem and met with Ukrainian-speaking educators to talk about lessons from the Holocaust. Australia's Labour Party this past weekend, during a conference held in the state of Victoria, voted to recognise a Palestinian state. Now, although they voted with their voices and not on a ballot, this does contradict the official foreign policy of Australia, which believes in a 2-state solution with a negotiated settlement. There is due to be a big Labour Party conference in August later this year. And finally, because we really like to try and end on a good note, especially heading into the weekend, we would like to congratulate Save a Child's Heart, one of Israel's most notable NGOs that performs life-saving heart surgery on children from around the world, especially children from countries where there is no access to this life-saving medical treatment, and even from countries and places like Gaza, the West Bank, Iraq, Afghanistan, where Israel has no recognition and sometimes even hostile ties. Well, the 2 latest little boys to receive life-saving surgery came from Eswatini. Yes, it's a little landlocked country in the south of Africa, landlocked within the borders of South Africa, and 2 wonderful little boys are now able to have a full life ahead of them thanks to the wonderful doctors and staff at Save a Child's Heart. And that brings us to the end of this week's editions of the Israel Brief. Don't forget to join me again next Monday as we take a look at those top stories. But before you do, you might want to check out our website, and you can find us at www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook community is at Lottle's site. Our YouTube channel is at The Israel Brief. Click on that red subscribe button, and we're on YouTube at Lay of the Land 5. I'm Rolene Marks, wishing you all a wonderful weekend. Shabbat Shalom. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you again on Monday.